and welcome back to another video. My name is Krista, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit the little bell notification if you're interested in my videos. I do tutorials, gameplay, and story times on my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be making a poolside tiki bar. So I'm also going to include the codes for the designs I'm going to be using for my stall, as well as my little bar menu for my simple panel. And for today's story time, we're going to be talking about every weird experience I've ever had in a bar that I can cram into a 6-minute video. And I know that I had already told a story about that one time I was almost knifed in a bar in a previous video, so if you're interested in that story, I'll include a little card up there so I don't have to repeat the entire story. But moving on to other things, I know you're probably thinking, like, what could be worse than almost getting stabbed in a bar? And the answer to that is having someone trying to wife you in a bar. So a few years ago, my friend and I had actually gone to one of my favorite bars, and a guy from across the bar kept making eye contact with me, and I knew him because I used to tutor him, and we had mutual friends, but I used to tutor him in video tech in high school. And he invites us over. I'm like, oh yeah. Well, my friend and I go over to his table. I recognize everyone. They're all from high school. I think everything is chill. But you can tell that this man was a certain level of drunk where you could tell that, like, all of his reasoning and logic was clearly out the window. Because basically, you know when men do that thing where they feel the need to tell you how much money they make in hopes that you will gain some kind of interest? Well, at this time, I was a research assistant, making almost as much as he was as a mechanic. And he goes on, starts telling me how much he makes, how he bought a house, how great of a life partner it is, but how lonely it is living in his house. And he starts showing me pictures, saying, I redid all this by myself, I'm a great handyman, blah, 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 but living in this big house is so lonely. I really need someone to, like, live with me. Bro, this dude starts making every attempt, I swear to God, every drunken attempt to try and get me to move in this goddamn house with him. And let me tell you, it was so off-putting. Like, at the time, I was dating someone, and I mentioned to him, like, oh, like, I have a boyfriend. And this man has the audacity to say, well, he isn't here right now. Then he starts going on and on, trying to get me to dance with him, trying to buy me drinks, trying to keep telling me, oh, I make really good money, I got a trade, I didn't have to spend a whole bunch of money on school, blah, blah, blah. Bro, it got so intense to the point where I whisper my friends here, I'm like, bro, we better chug and leave, because I don't want to end up moving in this man's house with him. And we end up leaving, and he ends up, like, texting me, messaging me later on social media, because he finally realizes that he does have me on social media. He does have a means of contacting me, even though initially at the bar, he kind of looked at me and was like, I know you from somewhere, I don't know where. And he had all of my contact information. But he's one of those, like, my rights and freedoms kind of people on Facebook. So it's, you can tell it wasn't meant to be kind of thing. Like, it's no, I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what kind of house you're living in. I don't care what you drive. If you're on social media going about my rights and freedoms, honey, I'm not the one for you. You need to get that image out of your head. Another awkward time was when my friends and I went to a bar to go watch one of my beloved cover bands. And the thing about my friends and I is that we were selling medical supplies at that time, like all of us. And just to talk about how sketchy this bar was, a senior citizen had driven their mobility scooter into the bar, parked it, walked away, and my friend and I were looking at this scooter, and we're like, what do you think it is? What do you think he drives? Like, trying to get, like, all, like, the little details on it. And this guy standing by the mobility scooter thinks we're looking at him. And my one friend leaves on the table, asks the guy, how much does that beer cost you? Because remember, this is the same guy who didn't want to spend money on booze, so he hid the booze in the bush. Same guy, same bar, 2 different incidences. And the guy tells him, And then the guy notices that our friend who asked him the price of the beer came from our table, and this guy takes the opportunity to come over to our table. And despite my friend and I explaining to him, oh no, we were just looking at the scooter, you don't understand, it's going to be this really weird explanation. We just sell medical supplies, we're just checking out the scooter. He doesn't leave, he stays. We partied the whole night with him, to the point where my friend's boyfriend comes to pick us up and sees this random dude in the back seat, like, who the fuck is this guy? But before he even gets in the car, the dude that we randomly met starts unloading all of his mental issues and all of his drug issues and just a whole bunch of baggage that you really shouldn't be unpacking for the night, especially to people that you just met like 2 hours ago. And yeah, the next day we all woke up with friend requests from this random guy, who I later found out his name. I didn't know his name the whole time, but somehow he knew mine and added me on various social medias. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Moral of the story is, don't make eye contact with people in bars, man. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!